Hello, hello. This is Super Day with another review, and we have something very special today, something very different from the norm. This is Evangelion's Eva-01 Test Type. That's right, by Bandai. And this is an amazing, amazing action figure. Something a little off the beaten track from what we normally do, but I was so impressed with this figure. I just had to obtain one of these. Been haunting eBay for a while and finally found one at just above retail. So I was very fortunate. Ordered it from Spain. It is an original from Japan, and so I'm excited about this particular action figure, Eva-01 Test Type, and it's a metal build. So there is some metal parts, a metal skeleton, and some metal parts on this figure as well as plastic. But everybody says it's great. I've not opened it, so I'm ready to break it open here. So we're getting ready to do that in just a second, all right? See you in a minute. This is the amazing, probably one of the top of the line action figures that can be purchased today. Just an amazing character. Just simply amazing. All the way around. Let's give you a little close up here. Evangelion. There's Eva-01, Evangelion symbol there. Project Eva. Evangelion on this side as well. Eva-01, Project Eva. Awesome head there. Look at the spinal column. That is just so amazing. Some really cool looking boots or tennis shoes almost looking. Now look at the head and the neck and cool looking hands. Comes with multiple hands. We're going to look at the accessories. Just the paint job and the accents on this figure is absolutely incredible. You can see some of that metal skeleton in its hip area. The mouth will open. We'll look at that in just a little bit. Look at the spine. That is just amazing. The spinal column. That is just so amazing. So cool. Completely all the way around. You can see some of the metal work in the elbow. Alright, so the first thing we want to do is measure our Eva. And if we measure her from foot to the crown of her head, she measures in at a little over 8, just a little over 8.5. But then if you measure her based on the top of the horn there, if you measure it based on that, the horn, you're going to be measuring just a little over 9 inches, 9.25 inches, which is a great size, and I believe it's going to fit in well. We're going to check that later, but I believe it'll fit in well with the 6 to 7 inch action figures, because this figure is supposed to be tall. Actually, in the cartoon, which is playing right now on Netflix, the 1995 original Evangelion Neon Genesis Evangelion cartoon from 1995 is playing on Netflix right now, and let me warn you, it is for adults, not for children. And I saw the action figure before I saw the show. It's a pretty decent little show, but there's some questionable stuff in there, some adult content. But here's the thing. Eva is great. This is a cyborg, if you will. It's kind of like a suit. There is a tube that goes into the back of the back of Eva that a pilot, a young boy, actually sits in. And just a great cartoon. But anyway, getting back at it, Eva is a giant. I mean, skyscrapers, building size giant, and fights these bad guys off. But anyway, in my action figure world, we're going to let Eva be about regular size, but taller than most, so that I can use Eva as a robot in Masters of the Universe, the story. Probably go along with as a weapon of some sort, maybe Roboto, maybe use my Fortnite figures, Omega and Carbide. But anyway, this is a really neat figure, awesome action figure, the best I've ever seen. I haven't even got into the articulation. We'll do that. First thing I want to do is look at the accessories. So let us set up for that. All right, so let's look at Eva's first weapon of choice, which is her progressive knife. And you see the detail in there. Has a lot of detail, even has little rivets there in like little screws holding everything together, which those of course just part of the details. They're not actually rivets or screws. Even in the butt of the knife there and on the other side as well. Just some really nice detail. Looks almost like it's really metal. And this is plastic, but very high quality plastic. And it also comes with a sheath for you to put that progressive knife in, and even the sheath is nice. Looks like screws holding the sheath together, which they are not really doing that, but that's what it looks like. It's designed to look like that. And this little place here is designed to hold this knife and this sheath together in Eva once she has her battle armor on, which we will look at that later on. But really neat. There's the first accessory. Alright, so the first artillery weapon that we're going to look at that Eva comes with is this neat machine gun looking weapon. Look at the detail. There's this flat gray base color and then the accents like you can see there, especially this gunmetal right here area. Really cool accents where the bullets would come out, would spray. Even in this detail right here in the recesses where you see that look coming forth into play. Even this area right here, the accents of silver, and then even on the handle and the trigger, just a lot of great detail going into this figure. Just really amazing. You can see even in these little propeller areas right here, or that's what I'm calling them anyway. I guess they're more like vents. That there's just detail. You can see it better there. The silver recessed up inside of there. Very neat. Very cool. Even right here under this little opening. Very nice handle detail. Just all around. Just amazing. There's the butt of the weapon. Some silver looking detail. Almost metal looking gunmetal there. All of this is plastic, but a very high quality grade plastic, very durable, very nice looking. You can see some of that detail in the inner workings there. Just really, really neat. And that's not all. We have some accessories. The first accessory that we want to show you is the actual magazine that it comes with. And that snaps firmly into place, very snugly there. And so you have this cool little magazine that comes with it that snaps right into place there. And then also you have this grenade launcher that will slide right into place here with the front of the gun. Really nice look there to that. Some neat details in there also, even inside the barrel of the gun. You can see that there. Just some nice detail all the way around, even in this section here where you see some metal workings right along this area, these little rivets that go in as that slides into place for your cannon launcher, your grenade launcher that goes on the front. I like that look as well. Probably one of the most popular areas for this particular weapon, though, is this extension, and that's really neat looking as well. Extension to this rifle. You just have to slide it into the tracks well, you see that, and then once you get it along the path, it clicks right into place, and there you have an extension of that weapon. Really nice. Again, a lot of attention to detail, some of that metal working under here, an area to cock it there, and just the rivets, again, the detailed areas. Then these little energy packs that are a part of that. Just really neat extension to this machine gun that's going to make it an awesome looking weapon for Eva to hold. Just really cool. Last but certainly not least, you also have the ability to attach a bayonet to the machine gun, and you can just slide that on just like you did the other areas. You know, Eva's main weapon of choice, as we were talking about earlier, is the progressive knife, but here you have another knife or a bayonet that can be attached to her weapon, and it's really cool looking. Look at the detail, looks like a blade there. A lot of attention to detail on that blade, and that crisscross pattern. Just very neat look. And of course, another thing that we will mention concerning the bayonet for a moment is that the bayonet can be used independently as a weapon, because what they did here, if you notice on this bayonet, is you can have this work independently of the rifle by detaching this slider piece, and then Eva can hold it as another knife, another type progressive knife, not the progressive knife, but another option of a knife that she could hold. So that piece slides off of that particular grid so that you can use it that way as well. Very interesting concept of being able to use that in two different fashions, either as a bayonet to the rifle or independently of it. So that's the machine gun. Okay, so the second artillery weapon that he comes with is this nice pistol, and there is some definite accents on here. You see the little pullback hammer is actually a gunmetal accented there. Really neat. And you have just a flat matte gray color all over the body of the actual pistol here. But there is definitely, again, more to this beauty than it appears. If we take it here, the first accessory that the accessory has is, yes, again, a little magazine that slides right, I think I put it backwards, that slides right up into the chamber there. So you have that accessory, and then you also have the ability to pull this back. That's right, this chamber here cocks back there. You can see the detail provided with this particular weapon. As you can see, the gunmetal accents inside the chamber, as well as these little accents along the inside of this area, and then also in the barrel. Again, you can see those shiny gunmetal accents along that area there, and then again that cocks back into place, and then you can use that certainly as a weapon for Eva to hold. It's going to look really cool. It's going to look really nice. All right, now let's get into the swords that Eva comes with. First, this shorter sword, which is a very nice piece. You see the details again all along the base of the handle and the butt of the handle here. There's little rivets, almost like a bronze copper type screws, looking like that would hold the handle together. The accented orange over here, as well as the little red, and then almost a purplish gray piece coming off here that almost looks like some kind of electrode type weapon that's built into the handle. And I tell you right here, you can see in that lighting, it almost looks like that this is real metal. Even in person, it looks like that. Like this could slice your finger. But it is a high-grade metal with a very nice metallic paint. The paint apps on these accessories is just phenomenal, especially when it comes to some of these details, because it just looks like a real sword. If you didn't know it was on a miniature scale, you would believe that it was actually a for real weapon. That's how realistic it looks here on the camera, as you can tell. So that's where we're coming from on that. And of course it comes with this nice sheath that's a gray flat matte type finish on there. And of course the sheath, the sword will slide directly inside of this nice sheath and actually clicks. You feel a little click into place to protect the sheen and the from fingerprints, and you can still see the shine through there. Just really nice detail. You're going to see also here a little area that you can attach one of the little eyepieces that it comes with to be able to attach this sheathed sword to Eva or to the weapons rack / base stand that we will look at later. And that right there is just really nice because you can slide those on there and then you'll be able to peg those in to wherever you want to store that, either on Ava's side or on her back, or in that on those wing type things on the back of her shoulders, or like I said, on that stand. So there you have the first sword, the short sword that Eva can use to fight off the bad guys. All right, so for this particular sword, this is the long sword, and we had to just about stretch out our display area to fit her in the screen, this particular sword in the screen. Look at the detail. Just notice this here at this part of the sword. There's actually some indentation, actually some smooth metal work, it looks like, going on there, coming off the base, off the handle of the sword into the blade. But again, this is not real metal. It's plastic, a very high grade plastic with a lot of detailed paint apps, but it does look very realistic. When you catch a glimpse of this, it can be very, if you will, even intimidating looking to, at the very least, just to see this particular sword. You see it coming around the blade. Look at the shine. Look at the way the light hits it. It's just amazing the way this particular sword is just designed. Again, in the handle, it's like with the other one, you see some of those detailed rivets in the handle part here, the butt of the blade, and you see some other devices here, almost like some kind of controls that are used in the process of this blade, maybe electrical charge that can run through the blade. I know Eva did use a lot of electrical type charges that would come out of her, and look at the details, even a knob looking button type thing there when she would fight bad guys. So there's just incredible detail given here to this figure, and it's just amazing what you can see here and look at. So here's the cool part again, just like with the other one, you do have the nice sheath that's included with this nice sword for Eva to use. And then check this out, this is really neat. So you see the detail there, that clicks right into place. You heard the click there, it clicks right into place. It accents along with the details on the sheath itself when it plugs into place. Almost looks like a dial type situation here. There's just some neat details that go along with this sheathed sword. Really nice. And you can see again the sheen of that sword inside of the sheath. That's neat the way they kind of made it where the windows, and it fits very nicely. It's not overly tight where it would scratch anything, but it fits just right so that it protects the sheen from and the integrity of that blade, so there's no fingerprints or scratching that would happen to the paint. So that's really nice accessory. And again, you see again the little attachment, and we'll look at those in a little bit. So the first set of hands are these grappling looking hands. You see all the detail that are on them. It's wide opening hands. Also could be used kind of to pivot, balance him if he was crouching over or a fighting pose. You see that gold along the bone structure of the hand, and then those spots that are kind of highlighted right around the index fingers, and then the thumb section. It's like these little gold, silver, almost buttons. There's the first set of hands there. Really cool. All right, so for this next set of hands, you see that this is almost like a open palm relaxed type hand. Almost like you could reach up or shake a hand or touch someone on the shoulder, you know, just kind of a more relaxed open hand option for Eva to have for this particular hand set. All right, so for this third set here, you have this nice holding hand, which also can work as the trigger finger hand, also with the way the thumb is positioned, also to hold the progressive knife, the swords, and they will fit right there perfectly into the palm. They're designed to just slide right into place, but yet they don't look deformed and they don't look manipulated. They look very natural, so very neat gripping hands or holding hands for Eva. All right, so the final hands that we look at, except for the fist hands that are actually currently on the Eva figure, are these other gripping looking hands. They actually look like that might work for the pistol, so you actually have more of a closed hand look with that pointer finger looking like it may be positioned just right for the trigger on that pistol. And we'll just have to look when we actually hold those accessories in Eva's hands to see how that works. But really nice detail on these hands. We're going to be placing them on her here shortly and actually check these out. But this is the final set of hands other than the fist hands that are currently on the Eva unit. Join us for part 2 as we look at Eva's articulation and more.